One episode is out in the world. How are you feeling about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Finally, people have seen it.
Relief. It's like you have all this anticipation for a long time. Again, you don't know what you're going to be received as by the rest of the world. So it's definitely, a little bit daunting, to say the least. And so I feel a huge sense of relief having the first episode out. It was amazing for me to just be like, check that off, done.
And you know what you filmed, but you don't know what everybody else filmed. You don't know what everybody's saying in their confessional interviews. Did anything in that first episode surprise you?
I mean, I don't know if there was anything shocking in there. As you mentioned, I don't know what happens when I walk out the door. I don't know what happens with, the other women.
How aware were you that the conversation was leading to hospital smell, double amputation?
What do you want me to do? Not say you smell like hospital when she gets both legs amputated. I don't know what you want me to do about your aunt. Her legs are gone.
That was a Housewives first.
Yeah. I would imagine that's a first for many, certainly a first for me. So obviously I knew that there was an issue and that there was a conflict between Mary and Jen, because nobody who wasn't aware of it, let me just put it that way. I don't think any of us really realized the level that it had escalated to. So, the whole thing was a bit surprising where it went. And I guess it makes a lot more sense to me now why they were so angry at each other, because I didn't really get it, to be honest.
What can you tell me about where this goes with and how you get roped into it?
You're gonna go with Mary, who her grandfather?
What I can say that's just true of me in life in general is I don't believe that anyone should dictate who someone else can or cannot be friends with. That's just not my vibe. I've been friends with a lot of people who don't care for one another, and I don't engage in nasty conversations about the others. So to me, that's a little bit shocking. Like, what's the big deal? I can be friends with two people who aren't friends as long as I'm loyal to both of them. That is possible.
That leads me into the other kind of friction we saw in that premiere.
Hello there.
Hi, honey.
Good to see you.
Okay. Thought I was just gonna go in for a hug. Did Lisa just blow me off?
What do you make of the whole Lisa, I don't know her, Heather drama?
That one, I think I can't really comment on without disclosing things I shouldn't be talking about yet. But we'll get there. It's just not time yet.
Okay, what you're telling me is that it does not end at that dinner table.
You don't remember me or know me at all, but you remember me flashing? I don't get it.
Keep coming. Who's next? Who's next?
You will see tensions running through the course of time with everybody. This is just the beginning.
We're just one episode in. I was looking at the interviews you've done so far. You said there is one liar on this cast. You got to name names. Who's the liar? Who do we need to be watching out for?
So I can't name names yet because I can't give everything away. What I believe I said was there's at least one liar. I think there may be multiple liars. There's one that is 100% confirmed for me because I've caught the multitude of lies. But there are still some other things that aren't quite adding up. So I think that there's probably at least two liars out there. I don't know who the second one is, but we shall see. And again, if I'm wrong on the first, which I'm 99.9% sure I'm not, I will own it and apologize. But there's definitely a lot of lying. For me, handling more of a group setting like this was a lot. And I was surprised because engaging with people one-on-one is in seeing how they behave when they're in a group setting are two very different things.
Okay, so what you're saying is one-on-one, the women were showing you maybe one face in front of the group, some were showing another.
Pretty much, or either it's not necessarily being two-faced.
So less of a two-faced thing, more of a true colors thing.
Probably that. I mean, there's definitely some two-faced stuff too. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not denying that, but more of like a true colors. Like that's just not something I expected. It was surprising.
Did anyone on that note disappoint you? Some actions came out that you went, wow, I can't believe we went there.
Yes, 100%.
Well, you give me one name, Meredith. One name.
I'm keeping it tight for right now. We'll talk again a little bit down the road. Get a couple more episodes in, and then we can dig a little deeper. But
okay, as we approach the reunion, or maybe even after you film the reunion, because I would love to know what your mind is like after you've sat down and hashed some of this stuff out. Are you keeping notes of things you're like, oh, got to bring that up, got to make sure we button that up?
Yes, there is a lot to button up. I have a lot of issues, and just knowing what I do know about what's gone on in between all the other women, I'm barely scratching the surface with my issues. A lot went on behind my back, and I'm going to be watching right along with the rest of the world, trying to decipher who is really a friend and who is not.
Well, we got that vibe a little bit when your tagline came out.
Jealousy is a disease, to which I say, get well soon.
Is that a message pointed at one co-star in particular, the whole group?
It's a message that's pointed at more than one. Jealousy brings out an ugly side of people, and yes, get well soon, speedy recovery, because I don't like it.
Oh, just don't go to a hospital, because then you can't be around Mary. But no, that what you said there of kind of separating yourself from drama. When the trailer came out, you have this line where you go,
Thank you, I'm disengaging.
is that kind of your MO? You don't like to be in the mud. If stuff is getting to a place where you feel uncomfortable, you're like, I'm out of here. Resolve this yourself.
I mean, yes and no. I guess for me, by virtue of my business, I am traveling a lot. And I think a lot of the times before, the shit hits the fan, so to speak, I'm already on to the next city. So that didn't happen here. So it's like, yeah, you got to deal with it. And that's fine. I can hold my own. It's, I'm not a pushover by any stretch, but I do demand that people speak to me with a certain level of respect and self-control. And if they're not going to do that, I am going to leave. I will not allow somebody to yell and scream and swear at me. That's not acceptable.
All right, moving off the women to your personal story, your family. Brooks, the breakout star of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah, are you ready?
I've been ready for the past 15 minutes. Let's go.
Okay.
What does it mean to you to see this great response to your kid?
It's incredible. There is nothing that could make me happier than seeing Brooks or any of my three children thrive, and seeing this moment for Brooks is really very special to me. It is.
Be honest with me. Was part of his decision to take a semester off, Mom is filming Housewives and I gotta be around for that?
So, I mean, of course, there's a little bit of that comes into play, but the reality of the matter is Brooks was working on his brand, and he also was coming to, help me during a very difficult time in my life. So there were all kinds of factors that came into play there. I mean, it was a very positive thing for me to have, I'll tell you that.
I think probably only eagle-eyed viewers notice this, but Jen Shah is wearing some Brooks Marks athleisure wear in the premiere episode. Andy Cohen has teased that Brooks's fashion show is a moment that we're going to be waiting for to see this season.
Brooks's fashion show to me was absolutely iconic, and I don't want to ruin it. You'll have to watch and see, but it was the moment I will never, ever, ever, ever forget.
For good reasons, bad reasons, all of the above.
Oh, good. All positive.
All good. Okay. I was like, who ruined Brooks's day? Who do we need to fight? Moving to the other side of your personal story, the teasers put a lot of focus on the state of your marriage.
If you're not getting it from home, you're going to go somewhere else.
I don't know if it's going to work, but I know this is not working.
We know there was a divorce filing and a dismissed divorce filing before cameras even went up. Was there any trepidation of airing out your real personal business in front of millions of people?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'd be crazy if I didn't say yes to that. Seth and I have had a long history of separations and reconciliations over the years. It was not something we were ever public about because our children never knew, but we had separated, we had dated other people at times. Our children did not ever know. We were always living in the same home, and becoming empty nesters sort of put us in a place where we were really forced to evaluate what path we were going to go down. And so, people question, is reality TV real? And there is nothing more real than what I went through on this show. I get a little teary saying it even, but it's real, and it's intense, and you'll see it all play out. I've been very, very private about our marital state. I really had not told any of my friends, and my children just found out before we started filming.
Does getting choked up now, is it looking forward to everyone learning that you went through this? Is it thinking about what you've overcome? Why do those emotions come up?
That's actually a good question. I should probably explore further with my therapist. No, I think that it's a combination of all of the above. Marriage takes an immense amount of commitment, an immense amount of work. And you sometimes look back and you say, like, maybe I could have done this differently. Maybe I could have done that differently. Did I screw this up? Did I screw that up? Was shielding my children from all of this a horrible mistake all along? You just start to question every choice you made. And that's the process I've been going through, is reevaluating, looking at it, all my decisions, all my choices, and questioning them.
In episode 2, we learn that we've met you in a moment of separation, that you and Seth are not together at the moment. What kind of ups and downs are we going to see for the two of you? And is there a resolution at the end, whether that's divorce or not?
So yes, there is a resolution at the end. I cannot speak to what that is, but it does go one way or another. And yes, we are separated, like legitimately separated for the first time in separate homes, and we now can be in our own homes and sort of try to figure out what direction we want to go in. Can we make this work or can't we? Should we move forward with a divorce? Should we be seeing only each other? Should we be dating other people? Should we separate? All these questions are out there that we have to figure out.
What was it like then navigating being in this group of some old friends, some new friends, who you got to pick and choose what you're sharing with them? And from the teasers we know, Whitney starts to speculate.
I'm confused. Watching Meredith and Seth be touchy-feely, and I've heard just seeing someone else.
You're trying to figure it out yourself, so to have to explain yourself to other people has to be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was something that was very upsetting to me, to be throwing things out there when you don't really know if they're true or false. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's rumor. Is upsetting, very upsetting. So we'll watch and see. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of conversation that went on about me behind my back. I am very curious to see who's responsible for what. And then we'll see, perhaps I misunderstood some things, but I doubt it.
God, I just want you to tell me who this lying, two-faced person is. I gotta know. I guess I gotta keep watching to find out.
Gotta watch it.
You would never hand me your phone.
I'm done with this conversation.
Because you're hiding something.
There seemed to be a little bit of a trust issue situation that will unfold. Seth kind of accuses you of hiding something. Were you hiding something? Are we going to see you hiding something?
I can't tell you what Seth thinks I'm hiding or not, but no, there's nothing to hide. Seth and I had a long history of ups and downs in our relationship, a history of multiple separations, a history of dating other people. So What am I hiding?
When you've entered these periods of separation, do you set like ground rules of like, these are the what you can do, this is what you can't do, or is it like a free for all, no rules situation?
So that has varied, and I will say my advice to anybody is if there's a question mark on what your rules are, set them straight. It's a lot easier that way.
Seth makes quite a few cracks about your sex life.
I'm totally overworked and undersexed.
Okay. That's not even funny. That's not nice.
It's true. We're gonna be truthful.
How do you feel about that being aired out on television?
I don't really care. You know what? First of all, everyone has to understand that Seth is filled with sarcasm, as is most of my family. I'm probably the straightest shooter of anyone in my family.
I think you're pretty sarcastic too. I feel like your sarcasm came across in episode 1.
#blessed.
We've got a lot of season left to unfold. What are you most excited for the viewers to see in what remains of season 1 of Salt Lake City?
So I'm excited from my own personal standpoint. I'm excited for everybody to see, how I engage with my family, how I engage in business. I am very serious about my business. It's like, it comes across as probably everything to me on the outside, but at the end of the day, my family is the number one priority in my life. So from that standpoint, I'm really excited for people to see all of that.
On the flip side of looking forward to stuff, is there anything in particular you're really dreading the viewers seeing or having to relive yourself?
Yeah, any, heated moments particularly in my family will be hard for me to watch again. Obviously any heated moments with the women I may not really particularly enjoy, but that won't be as trying for me as watching arguments with my family. That will be difficult. Anything that is, within my family is going to be the hardest thing for me to watch.
Did you already have that kind of stone in your stomach moment when the trailer came out and there's that scene of Seth like packing his bag and storming out?
Yeah.
Okay. Simple enough. Well, that's all I have for you. It was great to finally connect. Congratulations. The show is so great and I can't wait to see more.
Thank you so much for having me, and we will have to reconnect down the road when I can tell you more.
Yeah, when you can name names, say who the liar is, who's two-faced. We'll dig into it all, and then you'll have to pull out your notebook of all the things you want to get answered at the reunion.
Oh, the list is already very long, and we're only in episode 1. So.
We've got 55 minutes of television out there, and we've already got a list. I love it.